from king to enslaved, tortured, and unbroken human being. This is the astrology of Larry Hoover. We're strong, but we're stronger together. My love and yours forever. We're as one, King David once said, that this must be done. Just as God placed the stars in the sky with reflection they shine. Yes, said King David, we must combine body, soul, and mind with these love for now and all times. Once the D thing was just an idea, till King David said, let us bring it here. But just like anything else that had to get started, without knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, it will soon be departed. The six-pointed stars were connected all together. As it was the Star of David, it'll last forever. By using 360 degrees of knowledge in any given situation, nothing is impossible for the Black Gangster Disciple. Larry Hoover was born on November the 30th, 1950 in Jackson, Mississippi. This gives Larry Hoover a Sagittarius Sun Sign and a Leo Moon sign. A Sagittarius Sun is primarily the sign of a leader. It believes in doing things on a big level, and it has no problem announcing its intentions. The Sagittarius challenge is sometimes lacking tact in expression of its ideas. In other words, they can be too blunt and too straightforward. Sagittarius has a greater concern with maintaining the dignity of the truth instead of maintaining the clothes that the truth is wrapped up in.
Because they ain't worried about me, they got me. But they worried about the kids. Because the youth is more feisty now than it was. And the cold game is what they're doing now. They didn't put the prisons on the open market. You know, it's on the stock exchange. Big companies own prisons now. They all got stock in prisons. MasterCard, Smith Barney. You know, it's political. But see, the mayor's scared of me. Yeah. The mayor's scared of me because they want to lay you down and put a dick in your ass. If you move your ass, they consider you rebellious, you know. I'm moving my butt, so they consider me a rebellious nigga. See, I'm telling these young boys to put them guns down and pick up that ballot, you know. Right. You know, you can kill as many niggas you want as long as you don't go to the polls.
Like all people, Sagittarians are naive during their younger years. But what that naivety will look like will be based on the level of the person that you are dealing with. Sagittarius are also risk takers and gamblers. They will not hesitate to take a quickly calculated risk. They have a tendency of looking at things way down the road, and they have the ambition to try to do things that other people wouldn't dare. And this is why they are often called the lucky sign, although luck doesn't always fall on their side. I found that in multiple prisons, the people who wielded the most power and appear larger than life itself with unquestionable rulership, they often have Sagittarius strong in their charts. For instance, I'm talking about the people that when they transfer into the facility, you feel the entire yard change. You feel the energy is a little bit different than it previously was. And based off of the personality of this person is going to determine what kind of facility that is about to become. It could be a facility where there's about to be a whole lot of positive activities and learning and programs and things of that nature that's occurring. Or it could be a facility that's about to be flooded with drugs, a whole lot of stabbings, and even deaths. Larry Hoover had a Leo moon. A Leo moon is the sign of a king. Just as the lion is the king of the wild, a Leo sun, moon, or rising sign commands that same kind of royalty. Since this is Larry Hoover's moon sign, this is how he nurtures. Larry was born to be the spotlight of his audience. A crowd that would look to him for a way of life, not because of anything that he has done, or not because of any extra skill set that he has. That is simply how he was born. And no matter what he chose to do or what he chose to do in life, he would still be the spotlight of his audience. Leo also rules children and the young. It is very understandable then why so many young people who normally are disobedient to elders would readily take his direction, especially if they heard it come from his free mouth. A free mouth is important because people often view the positive things that's said by prisoners as only talk because they are trying to get out of prison, trying to come home. It is this forward thinking that would lead Larry Hoover to do the ultimate good. And unfortunately, this ultimate good has served as the catalyst burying Larry alive. He boldly sought to turn the ship of those subscribed as gangster disciples from violence towards a more civilized direction of introspection, community responsibility, political awareness, social development, educational cultivation, and economic prosperity with fortitude. He introduced the new concept. This is a perfect example of what a Sagittarius Sun paired with a Sagittarius Venus and Mercury forming a 120-degree angle to his Leo Pluto and his Leo Moon. Transformation. To change a person or a people, you must first change how that person or how those people identify themselves. Larry changed gangster disciple to growth and development. Is that not a transformation? I have never been blessed in as a gangster, but I grow and develop every day. David Barksdale was a Gemini. Gemini rules the mind, but it rules our first and lower mind. However, Sagittarius rules our higher thinking. It rules our collegiate thinking. Where David brought 360 degrees of knowledge, Larry Hoover taught about 720 degrees of knowledge. Where David taught praise to all kings, Larry Hoover relinquished the title of king. It is reported that Larry said, "That is too much power for one man to have." That is transformation. Under David Barksdale, the meeting started off with a prayer speaking of hope and vision. Larry Hoover replaced the old prayer with a new creed that spelled out the practices and values that, if followed, would deliver the hopes expressed in the old prayer. Is that not transformation? Instead of money, mac, and murder, Larry Hoover stressed the importance of strengthening your mind, body, and soul. Instead of the customs of extortion and gang practices, Larry Hoover gave 16 laws that forbid all crimes against the community. That is Sagittarian vision. That, my friends, is transformation. A thing to remember about this is, because you institute a change, change doesn't take place instantaneously. Change has to gradually be given an opportunity to work. In closing, Sammy the Bull allegedly received 5 years for over 19 murders. Our country has taken political figures out of exile who have been responsible for the murders of thousands of people, the tyranny of whole nations, and set them up to be rulers in other countries. Why? Because it was in our better interest. Nate Boonecraft brags to have over 30 murders under his belt. He is a free man. The worst crime against humanity that has been committed by any country in this millennium was committed by what is now known as the United States and Great Britain. Yet, we have the most people in prisons, the most people receiving unforgivable penalties from countries that have done the most unforgivable things and have yet to acknowledge. We have never officially acknowledged the atrocity against an entire people. Barack Obama was critical in the removal of at least 3 leaders from Africa immediately once he came into the power of the presidency, but yet he chose not to remove one of our powerful voices from being buried alive. And what's funny but not funny is, these were the same people to help him navigate the political power as a community organizer and a politician inside of the state of Illinois. This has been part 1 of the Sagittarian former king current political social prisoner, Larry Hoover.